Flacco from the 2 on 2nd and goal. Play action fake. He's going to throw towards the end zone, and it got picked off at the 5-yard line. It is Denzel Ward again. 1st and 10 at the Raven 43. Mayfield takes the snap, drops to throw, looks, airs it out down the middle, got it inside the 20. It's Njoku again. Mayfield in the shotgun. From the 19 of Baltimore, he's back to pass. He steps, he throws, end zone, touchdown. It's Higgins. Snap is back, ball is down, the kick is blocked. They got it. Denzel Ward blocked the field goal try. Takes the snap. Back on 3rd down. Up in the pocket. He's got to get out of there. Now he's got to throw across the middle. He got a man open. At the 30, at the 40, it's Willis. 45-50. He's to the 45 to the 41-yard line. What a play by Mayfield and a catch and run by Willis. This is to win it. Snap is back. Ball down. The kick on the way. Line drive. The kick is good. With 2 seconds left in overtime, the Browns have won it!
Welcome back, Survivors. Browns win today, 12-9, old school AFC North matchup. A bunch of 3s up on that scoreboard. That is the shit that we come to expect from the AFC North. So much fun. A lot of panic, a lot of shit to cover. I'm Adam. Greg's here. What's up?
What's happening? Another overtime. What is the record for most overtimes in a season?
I don't know.
Nutty. It's nutty.
I can handle it.
It's crazy. We're 5 games in, man. We played a full season basically at this point. It's crazy.
We have an overtime win, an overtime loss. We have a tie. We have, and then 1 regulation win and 1 regulation loss. All the games close, panic, amazing. Mayfield just cannot say enough about this kid. I'm
stud.
So effing excited that he's part of the Browns.
Straight stud. I mean, he's after the game, Landry was talking about him being a rookie, and hey, he's playing pretty well for a rookie. He sort of said, like with a little smile on his face, because he's playing like he's an NFL veteran. Like there's no other rookie quarterback playing anywhere near this. Whether it's Colin Cowherd saying some nonsense about, he's not as good as Darnold or what. It's not even close. This kid is. I can't even think of a rookie that played this well that comes to mind. Like who as a rookie played this well? Goff was not good. Wentz was not good. And if you look today again, what's Wentz have? 6 points on the board or 3 points? And all the people that were clamoring, could have had Dak, could have had Wentz, could have had Watson, could have had. Now guess what? We got the best one of them all. And
he's too short, Greg. He's got an attitude. He played in the Big 12. How many excuses do we need to run through? The kid's a baller, man.
Straight
it's so
baller.
Much fun. It's incredible. I'm not even sure that I expected it to be this much fun. I mean, I knew the kid was good, and I knew that like we were going to have a chance to go out and like see some real quarterback play. 342 yards. When was the last time?
Yep. With bad receivers. We have a terrible receiving core. I cannot stress that enough. I mean, and they're playing well. It just, he makes everybody better. It's not even fair for the guy. And he's coming out and doing the things he's doing, dude. It's unreal.
Our offensive tackles are getting just punished by the Ravens defensive line, which we sort of expected. I mean, it's the Ravens. They're good. Just getting murdered. Mayfield just somehow like finding ways to extend a play and then make like an accurate throw down the field, picking up bonkers first downs on just
third and
we're
longs.
gonna go through it, but my God, I don't know if I could be this much more excited about Mayfield than I already was of drafting him. And to even think that this was a conversation that we were having before the draft is fucking stupid. I can't believe that there was even like thoughts of taking somebody else.
Oh, it was, you remember it was halfway in the season when Matt Miller said, I'll tell you what the Browns should do. They should get Tyrod Taylor. He was right. And they should draft Baker Mayfield in the 3rd round. And I'm listening to like Baker Mayfield in the third. What? This guy's a draft expert? You think Baker Mayfield's going to go somehow last to the third round? What in the hell's going on? And then the first overall pick, people are bashing that pick, which was a great pick by John Dorsey. We said up to that process, all through that process, why not just take the guy who's most ready? This team is ready to win. We've proven this. I mean, we have a chance to be 5-0 right now. We also have a chance to be 0-5. The games have been that close.
Yeah.
But the team is ready to win. That means we're in all these games. And that's just normal NFL football. I mean, good teams
this is where we want to be.
Play close games all the time. This is where you want to be. Exactly. But you want to come out with the victories, and they did today. They found a way to do it. I mean, they tried like hell to give it away. The refs, boy, one penalty or two penalties on the Ravens for the whole game. I mean, man, I tell you. But let's sort of go through this game a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, fire us up right here in the first half. It was a little slow through the first half, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to start us off right with the Baker interception.
Okay.
Let's just start off there because there was not much that happened before that. It was sort of like a scramble drill. Higgins is running the crossing route, and Baker thinks he's going to continue it, but he turns it upfield instead. And Baker, right before, as Baker's throwing it, the ball, it's like perfect timing of Higgins turning that thing upfield. And it would have got batted away, I don't know, but you're definitely going to have Higgins' body in the way of the cornerback. So it looks bad when you first see that, but I think that's just a miscommunication. Mayfield expecting Higgins to do one thing and him just trying to make a play, and it ends up costing them because Baltimore ended up capitalizing on that with a field goal on their ensuing drive there.
Right, which they went 3-and-out. I mean, they didn't get a first down. So,
Yep, but they were already in. So that turnover cost us points just because they were already in field goal position.
Right, but awesome job by the defense all day, especially in the first half. They were 0 for 6 on third downs.
In the first half, they were 0 for 6?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't say enough for how good E.J. Gaines played today. We were worried about Mitchell. We were worried about Mitchell not being in there. Who's going to step up? And E.J. Gaines was there to make all kinds of plays all day. He stepped into that role, took it over. Denzel Ward, absolute stud. I mean, we have the number 1 overall pick. We have the number 4 overall pick playing like their actual draft status. They got drafted that high and they're playing like it. For the first time, the Cleveland Browns first round picks are playing up to the potential. Obviously, Myles Garrett did the same thing last year, but it's really good to have these two just absolutely balling out. But yeah, the defense, man, Greg Williams, I thought called a good game. Except for one play we'll get to a little bit further down the line.
Yeah, go ahead and continue with your sort of process here. I'll just interject where I think I should.
Okay, well, let's skip to the second quarter here because there wasn't much going on. The Ravens started the drive. I think there was 13 minutes, like 13:20 on the clock. They were up 3-0, and they drove all the way down to the Browns 2-yard line. And it was second down and goal when the guy I just talked about, Denzel Ward, gets that huge interception.
Yeah.
Big time play.
Huge. Getting red zone turnovers.
Yeah. How many of those do we have? We're like it's like the reverse Kaiser this year. We're getting the turnovers instead of we're getting the takeaways instead of giving the turnovers.
So much fun. Like, it's so exciting to watch. Like, I'm not worried every time that the other team has the ball that something's going to happen. I keep expecting our defense to turn it over. That's how excited I am. I'm waiting for another underneath throw where Schobert pokes the ball out and Coley's there to pick it up. Like all this stuff where we're getting the ball on the ground, tipped passes are about ready to get picked. Peppers dropped a tipped pass that he could have picked off, and I think Gaines dropped an interception. So just the ball is bouncing our way for a change.
Oh, absolutely. And on that play, Ward kind of baited Flacco, thinking he had a little throwing lane, and you could see he's like, go ahead, throw that. Go ahead, throw it, see what happens, and he did. Ward gets the interception there.
That ball didn't get tipped, right?
I don't think it did it?
Yeah, I don't know.
So then we traded punts. until the 2-minute drive. I mean, there wasn't much going on in this first quarter, so it's still 3-0. And it was right after the 2-minute warning. And we get the ball back, and we actually worked a little 2-minute offense for the first time. They had back-to-back passes to Njoku of 15 yards and 24 yards. That was a big plays there for Njoku, hopefully helping him break out of this funk. He actually ended up with 6 catches for 69 yards, so that was the most catches he's ever had as a Brown. Not the most yards, but 69 yards. It's a pretty strong day for Njoku, being only 22 years old and whatnot. But then you went from that to the TD pass to Higgins. How far was that pass to Higgins?
19 yards.
Touchdown. 19-yard touchdown to Higgins, which made it 6-3 at the time. And here comes old the kicker to shank the extra point and just crush the goalpost.
I do want to talk about that play a little bit.
Which one?
The touchdown pass.
Yeah.
So he's got Njoku underneath. Njoku had just caught 2 back-to-back passes, and I think he's reading Jefferson the whole way. Jefferson jumps Njoku, and Baker just tosses it right over his head. Higgins wide open in the end zone.
Higgins has got some kind of injury too.
Yeah, something happened to his knee.
Yeah, they got to get an MRI. I hope it's nothing major, because even though Willis came in, Willis played halfway decent, but man, it's just Higgins has been the most consistent wide receiver that we've had so far.
3rd year, right? We talked about it. We talked about it with Lewis and Higgins. 3rd year, man. This is when you come into your own.
Or at least you hope to. But he's just, when the ball's put on him, he catches it. That's basically all you need for Baker, because the ball is going to get put on you. That much we know for sure. If you're open, he's going to hit you. All you got to do is catch the damn thing. And that's what he's doing. And if we're missing him for an extended period of time, I think it's really going to be a tough loss. Now,
we do have somebody coming in tomorrow for a workout, correct?
Yeah. Rashard Matthews, who basically quit the Tennessee Titans, but he can play. This is a guy that has, he's not going to ever be a number 1 wide receiver or anything, but he can add something, especially if Higgins is going to be down. They need to bring in some kind of experience. And so it might not be a bad look at him.
Yeah, agreed. So you're at 6-3 Browns.
Yep, 6-3 Browns, and I was
back with 40 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to get into that, except for that they drove down and they had an opportunity. They I don't even have any of the plays written down. They have Crabtree went for 11. Andrews had a pretty big gain on that one.
13.
And then they had to settle for a field goal, which they missed. How long was the field goal there? It wasn't short.
48 yards, blocked
48
by Ward.
Oh, that's right. That's why I should have wrote that down. Yeah, so Ward, I don't know, maybe he's a fan of Amos Jones. He felt bad for him. He needs to make a play, but Ward gets his hand on that field goal, and chances are anything that Tucker puts on his foot usually ends up going through the crossbar. So we needed that, and that was a big finish to the half, where we had a little momentum. We were going to get the ball coming out of half, so we go in 6-3, knowing we're getting the ball, just making plays there at the end of half, and something to feel good, because they didn't really play very well in the first half.
Yeah. It wasn't right. There wasn't any spectacular drives. You're playing a tough defense.
Yeah, very good defense, and I got well fought the whole day.
2 for 7 on 3rd downs.
For the Browns?
Yeah. There was a 3rd and 16 on the second drive that Higgins caught that pass for 21. That was a huge play.
Yes.
It turned into
that was after,
but you sort of
after the Njoku.
Yeah.
Yeah, Njoku had the hold on the Chubb 14-yard. Now, Chubb, they said he was going to get more carries. He ended up getting 3 carries for 2 yards. Now, we know he had only 3 carries last week for 102. So it's going to bring his average down quite a bit. But that way, he had a 16-yard gain there, and Njoku got called for a hold.
Yeah, so there was it was a couple 3rd downs where I thought they were a little conservative, maybe.
I think they're, honest to God, I think they're just way too conservative over. I think you have to you have to just let Mayfield read the field and make plays. He's so good at it. I just don't like you taking the ball out of the guy's hand at all. I know he's a rookie, man, and I know people are thinking we're crazy. Well, you can't let a rookie just do that, but he's making play. He's the most consistent guy on your offense. He gets the ball where it needs to go. He's reading the whole field. He's seeing everything perfectly. And it's just it's very conservative stuff at times. Another one of those third downs that you were talking about. How about that 3rd down and 8 where Weddle gets the sack? And I don't know if you noticed this was a mix up. This is a couple times. I don't know if this is Desmond Harrison here or if it's Duke Johnson, but they're both blocking the same guy and leaves. Now that should be blocked. That's a big time 3rd down and 8. And we were driving on that one. You know, you miss those blocks, and we ended up we had terrible field position in that first half. That's a big reason why we only put up 6 points on the board. We couldn't get the ball out of. We started inside the 10-yard line. I swear to God, at least 4 times on that in that first half. It was terrible.
Yeah, there was definitely. The Ravens did have the field position battle won.
Yeah, and the defense wasn't breaking, man. They were doing a hell of a job because when that usually happens, it's short field for the offense, and Flacco couldn't get anything going.
Yeah, anytime you go into the locker room and it's 6-3, the defense has done something.
Oh yeah,
and especially when they were working with not the best defensive field positions. So just game balls all around for the defense.
Yep. So then we go into the second half, and then we had a 3rd down and 9, which Njoku should have came up with a catch. He didn't get it, but it would have been a tough catch. But still, it's another one of those balls where Njoku needs to make. And I'm hoping. I hear a lot from people where they're like fed up with Njoku, and to me, I think expectations are just a little bit too high for a 22-year-old kid here. I mean, this is what he is. And he's going to struggle with those blocks, when he's trying to block 280-pound guys because it hasn't even developed his body yet. He's going to struggle with these kind of drops with the same thing that Callaway is going to – all these young guys are going to struggle with this stuff. So every time he makes a mistake, it's like oh, let's just cut this guy just about. And it's like, good God, like we have got to take these young guys and develop them. Like this guy has potential to be a star. If you stick with him and you keep working with him and he wants to go in and put the work in to get his hands better, it's got to be on him.
Yeah, I agree with you.
As much as the team. But so they get the ball back.
You don't need to panic with Njoku. You're still developing the kid. 6 catches for 69 yards. It's a good day. He did have 11 targets, but let's not. Look around the league at what tight ends are putting up. Like it's not. You're not really getting.
Well, there's just so much
games, so it's just a little patience. Yeah,
you need a lot of patience. Like it's going to take. It's going to take a couple of years for this guy without any question. Yeah. But the upside that if he develops into what you think he can develop into, he's going to be an unstoppable force. Like he is a Travis Kelce like body. That is what the kind of things he's going to be able to do for your offense. The mismatch opportunity that you're going to get with him, you just can't give up on this guy like that. In my opinion, people are ready to throw him out with the garbage. It doesn't make sense to
me.
Right.
So no linebackers can cover him. That's the best part.
No.
So if you get the right matchup, he's going to get a lot of targets because if Mayfield sees that he's got a linebacker on him, well, that's where you're going with the ball.
Nobody can catch him. Right. Nobody can cover him. The only person that's covering David Njoku is David Njoku at this point. Yeah. If you put the ball in the right spot, nobody can guard him.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so the Ravens get the ball back. This is the first drive of the second half for them, and this is when they dumped it down. Wait, I can't remember what the pass was, but it went to Allen. Schobert gets his hand in there, strips it, and this is the one you talked about earlier. Trevin Coley falls on it. We get the ball back. I believe it's on our 42-yard line.
No, Baltimore 42.
Baltimore 42, and Landry gets a 16-yard gain. We hit Higgins for 26. And then we ended up having to settle for a 35-yard field goal after we took a 6-yard sack. It was 3rd and goal on the 6, and Baker takes a sack there.
Any problem with the play calls there from 1st and goal from the 6?
1st and goal was incomplete to Landry. I don't remember what that one was.
No, it was just.
Do you remember what the pass pattern was?
It was just a pass play. I mean, I didn't have any problem.
Oh, he was. I wrote down he had no separation. I'm not sure.
I think Mayfield threw it out of the back of the end zone on purpose.
Okay. And then they run. See, I don't mind. Like, here's where you get down to 1st down and goal on the 6. I like that you would spread it out. If you're going to run on that 1st down play and try to get 3 or 4 yards and then run hide again. But now you're 2nd down and 6. Makes it a lot tougher to run from the 6-yard line on 2nd down. You almost have to throw it now, I feel like, 2 times in a row. And they run hide. He gets 0. And then they come back and they get sacked on the 3rd down. It sucks that we have to settle for that field goal. But it's points on the board cause off of a turnover, which we struggled with.
Yeah.
They brought it up on the game. The points, the amount of takeaways we have compared to points off those is pretty ridiculous.
Mayfield
almost
not good. Got out of that sack and just
balance.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would have been a hell of a play. Yeah. So then the Ravens
9-3 Browns.
I'm sorry?
The score became 9-3 Browns after the
Yes. I'm sorry, yeah.
So
yep, 9-3. But then the Ravens followed that up that next drive. They drove all the way down the field and got a 25-yard field goal. Just, this was sort of the bend, don't break defense that we were playing. Allen had a 17-yard gain. Garrett got flagged for an offsides. He was flagged 2 times for the offsides. He's basically going to have an offsides every single week because he's trying to jump the snap all the time. I don't care if he does that, just so everybody knows. I know people might get upset about that, but I'd rather have Garrett making the quarterback worry about him all the time rather than getting off slow like Agba. Boyle had a 10-yard gain. Snead had a 13. But they were kind of just moving it along pretty methodically on that drive.
Well, they were down to 3rd and 3 from like the maybe the 7-yard line, and the Browns were completely not set. I don't know if you remember that 3rd down play. Yep. The Browns were sort of like milling around, and I'm not sure if Ward broke up a pass, but he was in coverage.
Yeah, he did.
And
yep. He just I cannot. I just can't believe how well he's playing.
5 games in.
It's ridiculous. He is. Yeah, he's just when they throw to him. He gave up a couple receptions, but typically, if they're running a guy like on a go route or something, he is right in that guy's hip pocket all the time.
Yeah,
he's really playing well. But I'm going to skip. Let's skip ahead.
They made
here.
the field goal. It became 9-6 Browns.
Yep. And it was in the 4th quarter. Let's skip ahead all the way to like 4:29 in the 4th quarter. Ravens started the drive at the 34-yard line. They started off with Crabtree for 6, and then Crabtree for 19, Allen for 7, Snead for 8, and they're moving it. This is the bend, don't break defense again. They get into a big 3rd down and 13 from the Cleveland 30. And what are we going to do? You're a defensive coordinator. 3rd down and 13, Cleveland 30. You are up 9. You're up 9-6. What are you doing? Blitz everyone.
I'm blitzing 11.
And with knowing exactly what Greg Williams is going to do, Marty Morningwig throws the screen pass right behind the blitz, and he picks up 15 yards and a 1st down. Now, they would have settled for it would have been a 47-yard field goal, which is still very makeable for Tucker, but it makes it a little bit tougher. They throw 3 incompletes and then ended up having to kick a field goal anyways. I don't know how long it was, but
32 yards. But
32-yarder, yeah.
They're down to the Cleveland 14 with a minute 30. Like we're almost. I'm expecting them to score a touchdown.
I was thinking
Brownsy.
so. When they, yep, I could not believe he just didn't make them settle for that field goal.
Yeah.
Just keep the ball in front. Again, this is where the over-aggressiveness of Greg Williams, like he called a great game. I mean, look, they only scored 9 points. I'm not saying Greg Williams didn't do a good job, but what I'm saying is in situations like this, He has got to be smarter. When it is second down and goal on the 22-yard line, you do not give single coverage on Antonio Brown. When it's third down and 13 on the 30-yard line in the fourth quarter with like a minute or 2 minutes left or whatever in the game, you have to make sure they're kicking a long field goal. You do not give up 15 yards there. You cannot do that. And he did it. And it's the same. I don't know if maybe it's just the divisional teams that always kill us on these. Is it not the Bengals that are killing us, and the Ravens and the Steelers all the times that are killing us on these? And
if
every
we
week.
have a Ravens podcast and we're sitting here talking about the Ravens calls, offensive calls, you only ran one screen. You deserve to be punted right out of the freaking office, because the Browns don't stop screens. You should be running screens basically once per drive.
You know, the other thing that we're really bad at is any type of pitch to the outside or run, like off tackle runs. Why are we not containing runs?
Yeah, there's a lot of over pursuit, a lot of aggressiveness. That they get sucked down into the middle, and then it's really easy to block. I know there was a couple. We'll see it in the all-22. There was a couple great defensive plays where someone set the edge and got that runner to turn back inside. But overall, yeah, we're pretty lacking in the outside run department.
Oh, it's been terrible. It's been terrible. Agba does a good job of holding his contain. He's not getting like a ton of pressure, obviously, but he seems to keep his guy contained at times. It just seems like we're almost like short on numbers sometimes. They're running and. The one they called that block in the back, well, that's probably what really helped spring him on that big run that got called back. It was a block in the back on Ward. Mm-hmm. But Denzel Ward is the only guy that's there to even make the tackle. Right. Because that is a wide open lane, and it just doesn't seem like you stopping the run should not come down to 178-pound cornerback.
Agreed. So, yeah. That needs to be cleaned up. They did make the field goal. It was 9-9. Browns had 2 timeouts, 52 seconds.
Yep, and we start from the 25-yard line. And on first down, here he is. Whoever the hell this guy is, this Willie's guy. Never heard of him in my life before football started this year, and he's making plays with less than 50 seconds in the fourth quarter. Willie's catches for 13. 3 plays after that, and I think it was like Njoku incomplete and something else, and then it's Landry on 3rd down and 2. Landry is wide open, catches the ball, he runs 17 yards, and instead of running out of bounds, he goes down in the field of play. The clock is ticking. He's down at the Baltimore 37, and I believe there is do you know how much time there was?
At the start of the play, there was 38 seconds.
Okay. So there was probably, if he would have went out of bounds, it probably would have been around like 28, 30 seconds, somewhere around there. Seconds. Instead, we have to get up. We have to spike the ball. There's 16 seconds left. We had a timeout.
We had 2 timeouts.
Why didn't we use it? Yes. Why didn't we use the timeout there?
Unacceptable coaching. Again, these are the ones that we're pointing to when we're talking about the head coach, whose only job it is to figure out when I should call a timeout and when I shouldn't. I have no idea why he didn't call a timeout there. I have no idea why Landry.
I feel like we only had 1 timeout left. Hold on. I think we called a timeout.
Right. We only had 1 timeout left. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we only have 1 timeout. So I know that's why he was probably thinking, I want to save that. But at that time, really, the boneheaded play is made by Landry. Yeah. Okay, you're the guy. You're the veteran receiver. You're supposed to be the smart one. Okay, because you're not going to get those kind of plays out of Callaway. Actually, Callaway probably would have been smart enough to get out of bounds.
Maybe. But if Callaway didn't get out of bounds, we would all go, okay, that's rookie stuff. But not from Landry. Yeah. Not from Landry.
Not $17 million a year stuff. That's Bush League stuff. That's what that is. Really like, come on, dude. Oh, it was unbelievably frustrating. And then they don't call the timeout, which he should have called the timeout there, but they spike it with 16 seconds. And then a wasted down. So we really could have used that down because we go incomplete to Njoku, incomplete to Landry. And now we're settling for a 55-yard field goal with some dude that can't even kick an extra point.
Right. And there was like 10, 12 seconds on the clock, too. It was a little bit nerve-wracking. Like, if he misses this, I wonder if they could run a play, and try to get some kind of bullshit defensive penalty.
Hold on. Beckham just smashed something on the ground. Give me 1 second. So the 55-yard, so then I should probably learn the kicker's name because they're probably going to keep him since he just made a game winner, but I'm still refusing to learn it because it just seems like his kicks are terrible at this point.
He's got the same name as you. We just
I know that. I can remember Greg, but I can't remember the last name, and I don't really want to learn it.
It's Kicker Greg.
Greg the kicker. He wasn't even close on the 55-yarder, and which got us into overtime.
Again, we're going to overtime. Son of a bitch. Here we go.
Yep.
What's going to happen? We're going to lose the toss for sure. They're going to hit John Brown on a slant. He's going to break one tackle and score, and we're all going to be pissed. Nope, the Browns win the toss. Do we ever win the toss? We won the toss.
We did this
Let's
time.
take over on our own 25 and go 3 and out for fun.
Yeah, get sacked on the second play. Of course we go. What do we lead? What do we lead all our overtimes with?
Hide +2.
Hide for 2. Hide for 2. Here we go. Right back at it. Baker got sacked. We ended up having to punt, and it was Hubbard that got beat on that sack. Hubbard got beat a couple of times a day and got called for 2 holding calls, I believe.
Yeah, he had a rough day. I thought the tackles had a rough day. Maybe
they did.
Expected by how good the Ravens are. You did mention that punt. Colquitt, we've got to talk about that punt. That was a massive punt.
Yeah.
He kicked it down
kicked it to the 15-yard line. Yeah.
That was awesome. And he was like talking shit. Did you see him?
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, yeah. Because they had a penalty and he was talking shit. The way he was talking, it almost made me think like, oh, we're getting a first down here because maybe they roughed him.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Exactly what.
Just a random holding call. The Browns shouldn't be talking any shit on when it comes to holding on special teams.
Right. So the ball went out of bounds like at the 15. Colquitt also had another punt that he kicked about 70 fucking yards, and that dude downed it inside the 5, and the
he returned it for like 10 yards.
Yeah, it's very smartly picked it up and took it back to like the 15. But that was like a 70-yard punt too. Colquitt had a hell of a day. I know he's just a punter. But in a game that's 12-9, this is important shit.
Yeah, it's
this
huge.
is, that's important things happening.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. So then they get the ball back. They actually had
on the 6. Sorry.
Yeah, Crabtree with 8, Collins for 6. Allen had like a 6-yard, and then Moore on 3rd down and 4. Moore on the crossing pattern.
That's
20.
when I thought we were fucked, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was, and Randall was in the coverage there. He's just looked like he was limping.
I think
the
he got picked a little bit by Schobert. Schobert was in the middle.
Okay, because I couldn't tell what happened there. But Moore comes back on the very next play and gets a block in the back.
Luckily.
On the run. That was the one where Collins had the open field, and it was Denzel Ward. So that set up 1st down at 16, and they bring in Lamar Jackson on these little runs, which the one worked to pick up a 1st down, but I don't know. I don't know what I would. I don't know. I don't think I would like that. If maybe it's because it's Flacco, not a big deal. But let's say that we have Baker as our quarterback 10 years down the road, and they want to bring in some guy to run some trick plays and take Baker off the field. I'm going, no, we're not doing that.
Again, it's just like, don't get cute, Ravens. Just run a screen pass.
Right.
Wait, why would you? Right. I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah, he did pick up the 1st down the one time, but
2nd down and 12. I don't know if you saw. If you go, it was 2nd down and 12. They threw it incomplete, but good Lord, Avery is held so bad on this play, dude. I threw my damn pen across the room, going, "What, dude? This is nuts." So they're just gonna let him get away with this shit? Like, it's nonsense.
The tackle had 2 hands on his helmet, literally holding his face back. Like, it was so obvious.
Dude, look at his shoulder pads. Both of his shoulder pads are pointing in the air because he was pulled his shoulder pads up to his helmet. It's terrible, dude. There's no way.
Avery pressure getting mold
Yeah, absolutely. And he pushed his dude right back into Flacco. And then on 3rd down and 12, that was incomplete to Snead. And then they punted. And 1st down, Landry. You know what? This is the play where Landry was wide open for 27.
Yeah.
Right? 4:20 on the clock, 9-9 in overtime. Landry just, I don't know, busted coverage. I'm not sure what happened there, but he was just standing there and runs it for 27.
And Mayfield got roughed.
And a roughing call. Now we're
terrible
doing
call, by the way.
Now we're doing something absolutely terrible. Just if we would have won the game there, I would have said that cost the Ravens a game. A terrible. I hate those calls, man. It goes our way.
Yeah.
It's great. So then we ended up. Yeah, and 1st down, Callaway for 5 on really an unbelievable catch in traffic. That's a ball that Mayfield, risky throw there. 2nd down and 5, incomplete to Willies. 3rd down and 5, incomplete to Landry. And then on 4th down and 5, Hugh decides to go for it. And I actually like this. I put your foot on the gas and go win the goddamn game. You don't try to kick this shit because it's way too far. I don't even know what yard line.
We would have been on about the 40. Inside. So, yeah, it would have been a 57-yard field goal.
57-yard field goal. And now, I'm not trusting our kicker. The Carolina kicker kicked Graham Gano kicked a 63-yarder to win the game today. Not our kicker. We're lucky if we can kick a 26-yarder.
I just don't know. What I don't really understand is there just no kickers around the league? Like, does nobody know how to kick?
Yes, apparently they are. No, there are kickers out there. Just they're not playing for the Browns.
We only need 32 professional kickers. That's it. In the entire world, we need 32 professional kickers, and I don't think we can find them.
And basically, 3/4 of the world plays soccer, and so that's all they do is kick a ball. We can't find somebody kicking.
It's really weird. Were you surprised with the 4th and 5 call or nah?
Well, okay. So Baker went for it. I think that I would like a higher percentage throw. In fact, the way that the play went, I almost felt like he should throw it to Willies there because it seemed like a pick play more for Willies. But I get what they're trying to do. It should have been single coverage, and he's got his best, what he's thinking is his best wide receiver out there that he's going to throw the ball up to. I just don't understand how that's not illegal contact, even if you're not going to call. They said, well, it can't be pass interference or what illegal contact because the ball's in the air. The guy was holding him the whole time.
And it can't be pass interference if the ball's uncatchable.
And if the ball's uncatchable, but it's not. I mean, it's illegal contact.
Yeah.
Like it's 5 yards. You get 5 yards. The guy's all over him the whole time. And then I'm not even talking about the guy that he ran into.
Exactly.
I'm talking about the other guy covering him.
Agreed.
But yeah, so it's a no call. They end up getting the ball back. Is there anything else you want to talk about that call?
3:22 on the clock. They get the ball back on their own 40. They basically only got to go 20 yards to get a 57-yarder from. I don't even know if they got to go 20 yards to get at least a kick try from Tucker. And they
and our defense is
incomplete. Nice job, Avery, on 1st down. 3 and out. Defense holds him to it.
Ogunjobi had pressure on 3rd down.
Amazing. Let's get the ball back with 2:57. Okay.
Yep.
And
what would you call up on 1st down?
I want to see what Rod Streeter can do.
Well, Rod Streeter is on your team. I didn't even know Rod Streeter is on our team. Like I say, in the biggest moment of the entire season up to this point, we should give the ball to the guy who's played like 5 snaps. Let's do it. On a reverse.
I want to do a really difficult, long developing play like a reverse. Where if you run a reverse in the 1st quarter, you always, the outside contain always has to think like, well, maybe they'll run a reverse again. So I got to pay attention to it. They didn't run a reverse all day.
Do that in the 1st quarter.
Let's do it in OT on our own 16 and lose 11 yards. We might as well have lost the game right there, except, Greg, I'm going to be honest with you, 11 yards minus on 1st down, I wasn't panicked.
No, me either. I'm not, but I did tweet out right after that, when that play happened, I tweeted out, fuck you, Todd Haley. That is all.
Yeah.
I was so angry. Like, why? would you
He
call
wants to get
that?
so
Right
cute.
there. This is the stuff I'm talking about. Quit taking the ball out of the best player on the offenses. He gets the ball. The center hands the best player the ball, so let him make the play. Quit taking the ball out of his hands to give to some scrub, some guy you brought in like a week and a half
Right.
ago, so he can play special teams. Just happens to be playing because Higgins.
Can you imagine
What are we
Belichick
doing?
giving the ball to some undrafted free agent that's played 5 snaps in overtime
in the biggest
in
moment
their own
Yeah.
territory? Just let's give it to a wide receiver and see what he can do.
Oh,
That would
my God.
never happen.
There hasn't been.
on so many teams, but like Haley tries to outsmart himself all the time.
He just tries to get too cute. That was the worst play call since the Browns on 4th and 1. The one year they handed the ball off to the tight end. The fullback had substituted out. They did fullback. He was hurt or something. They did a fullback draw with the tight end, and he subsequently fumbled the ball, and they lost.
When Hugh was calling plays, yeah, it's such a great.
No, that was back when that was the dude that's the head coach for the Giants. He was calling the plays in. Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, this is the worst play call since then. And but Mayfield turns around on 2nd down and 21, runs for 13, picks up makes it manageable on 3rd down.
2-minute warning, by the way.
And then,
2-minute warning. There's 2 minutes.
warning.
You're on your own 18-yard line. Yeah.
I can tell you where we're at there.
2 minutes to go. Tie is written all
We're
over
on
this
the
game.
18-yard line. Oh, I was thinking tie too. And really, we could easily have 3 ties right now. I mean, we're so close to coming away right now. I don't even know what our record would be. I can't even figure it out. 1-1-3 or something like that. What would we be if
That'd be so
happened?
awesome, by the way. 1-1-3, yeah.
Yeah, it would be tremendous. But yeah, so then we hit this random guy off the street again, Willie's for 39 yards, and just absolutely huge play.
Yeah.
I can't believe the Ravens have to be kicking themselves on that.
It was all Mayfield,
3rd down
too.
and 8.
It was all Mayfield. The play was done. He was fucked. It's in the intro, that play.
Good.
Donovan says Mayfield's got to get out of there, and then then he threw it to Willie's. I can't wait to see that play on the All 22.
The All 22. Oh yeah.
Wow.
And then we bring our closer. We bring in Duke. I forgot he was even on the team.
Yeah, let's set it up. We're down to the Baltimore 43 because this is going to be a point of contention. We're down to the Baltimore 43-yard line. 1:23 to go. Let's bring in the closer.
Bring him in. Bring in the righty. Here he comes, Duke. Actually, I like that first play call. But I believe they were in shotgun. They spread him out. Yeah, I like that. And then Duke gets through there, picks up 16, comes back on the next play. Oh, picks up 19 is what that was.
No, I think it was 15,
Oh, no.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
15 or 16. Whatever it was.
Okay, yeah, 15. Then he picked up 5, and then he picked up 4.
Slow down.
I'm sorry.
Because Duke picks up 16. You go down to the Baltimore 27-yard line. There's 45 seconds on the clock. I believe we have 2 timeouts, correct?
You get 2. Yeah, you should have 2. I can't remember. Yeah, we only had called. We didn't call one yet.
So 45 seconds.
Yep.
And then
We're saving them.
Give the ball to Duke again for 5 yards.
Call timeout.
Yeah. Call timeout. Were they just thinking like, okay, we're good now? We got a 40-something yard field goal try. Let's just let the clock run, or what? I didn't understand.
So they were probably. This is probably what they said. They go, well, what do we want to call a timeout here? And they go, we got Greg the kicker, so we'll just use him.
They let it run down to 26 seconds. All right, we'll give the like, what hash mark do you want it on? And they give the ball to Duke. He runs right for 4 yards, and then they let the clock run down to 6 seconds for a 36-yard try. Like, maybe we should probably get this a little closer. Are we going to put this
36 should
in
be
the hands of the kicker?
36, 37 yards. That should be manageable.
I'm calling timeouts and trying to pick up another first down. Like, come on, you just said it. Don't take don't take the ball out of the hands of the best player. Like, let them articulate the ball a little more. before you.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't even kick the field goal now that I think about it. Just let Mayfield throw for a touchdown.
I mean, they just let the clock run. I even if you had called timeout and said, all right, what do we want to do? There was it seemed like there was no strategy involved at all. Yeah. They just let the clock run.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he misses that, people are going to be talking about this exactly. They would be wanting Hughes' head. The fact that he makes it, it's not going to be talked about. Really.
So we're just going to talk about everybody on the field saving Hughes' job again, like Mayfield saving Hughes' job. All these
Mayfield is saving everyone's job at this point.
All these kids coming up with big plays. The kick was terrible. I think the Ravens. Okay,
I did get to watch this. Yep, if I got to go back and watch it. I don't know who it is on the left side. I think it's Darren Fells. He doesn't block. He blocks the outside guy. There's a guy that runs through the inside of him.
Again,
not touched, and he gets his hand. We're lucky that wasn't a block kick and missed because of, once again, special teams. I mean, we almost blew that because of that.
Well,
go back and watch that play. I got a chance to go back and look at it. I was like, holy shit! I didn't even notice the guy get through there completely clean, getting through the line.
That's just it's unacceptable. Our special teams is just so poor.
It's a disaster.
Yeah, luckily it went in. I know you've said before, special teams is going to lose us a game. If we had a better special teams, I mean, like you said, we literally could be sitting here at 3-2 or 4-1.
In this case, it would have been special teams tied us a game, though.
I think our other tie is on special teams.
Okay, let's. I want to get into this a little bit. Landry. Now, he got that big 27-yard catch where there was obviously a busted coverage, but you end up with 5 yards for 69 yards. You're tied with Njoku for the lead yardage on 10 targets, though. 10 targets, 5 catches.
69 yards.
He's not doing it, man. He's not getting it done.
No. Well, I mean, we tried our best to sort of temper Landry pandemonium, and then everyone just called us assholes for... that didn't like the signing or whatever. We took a lot of heat for Landry, and dude, we need Landry on this team because we don't have any.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is he's not playing up to his price tag, so he needs to. I mean, they're gonna have to rely on him more. If Higgins is out here for extended time, they're gonna have to be relying on him a lot more. Higgins ended up having 3 catches for 66 yards on 4 targets. That's efficiency right there.
But I don't think Landry's doing anything that hasn't proven that he does. I mean the kid is not going to get separation. We know he's not a super athlete. We know he's not a burner. He's not going to stretch the field.
I guess there just shouldn't be maybe there shouldn't be these high expectations of him.
Agreed. Really. Yeah.
I mean, it was a good game. I mean, when you look at his stat line again, you look at it, you go, "Hey, 69 yards, 5 catches, nice job." But 20, like I said, half of those yards.
You're a wide receiver too. That's a great line, but he's. I mean,
yeah. How about Seth DeVelve getting in there, getting a big catch for 26 yards? I'm telling you right now, Seth DeVelve is the perfect complement for Baker Mayfield. That perfect, what's the word? Matchup tight end. The guy that's that you're going to put out there for a mismatch and then just let Baker hit him and get yardage, sort of like the Trey Burton type tight end that the Bears have that played for Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I just think he's such a good, he's one of those guys you can just rely on. You put the ball on him, he's going to catch it. He's going to get you yardage after the catch. Baker hit him, and he did exactly that. I want to see more of him.
Yeah, honestly. It's nice to see him back in the lineup for a change. He's had a rough go.
Yep.
Do we need to get Duke more involved in the pass game? Or, I know we tried to throw that one to Chubb, and Mayfield sort of overshot him a little bit. Duke had 1 catch for 7 yards. Hyde had 2 catches for 14. I'd like to get these running backs involved a little.
I want to see how many snaps Duke played because it didn't seem like a lot.
Yeah, 35 yards on 5 carries.
Yeah, he did a nice job there closing out the game. But yeah, 1 catch for 7 not really one target for the guy.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see his usage.
I just Callaway again, like he had another ball hit him
Bad
right in the
drop.
hands.
Yeah, I think I only counted 2 drops this week though.
Njoku and Callaway. Did you give Njoku a drop for that one? Yeah, and that was going to be a tough catch.
You like to see him pull it,
but
down.
It hits your hands. The difference though is like nobody else in the league is really even going to be able to touch that ball. Like if you just have a receiver that's sailing over their
just
head,
another
they're not
dude,
even going to be
just a jag. Yeah, he wouldn't even be open. So yeah. Browns had 10 penalties for 66 yards. The Ravens had 4 for 41. That seemed like an issue all through the game. I don't want to complain about officiating in this podcast, but there was some times there where I was just thinking like, I don't know if this is on the up and up after last week too. You know?
Well, there wasn't a penalty accepted until like the fourth quarter by the Browns.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So it went. Yeah, I think we had 9 penalties and they had 0
at the time.
Went by accepted penalties. Yeah,
that was a little crazy. So, but I mean, if you look up and down the team stats, both teams had 15 drives. Total yards are pretty close. 410 for the Ravens, 416 for the Browns. Time of possession's really close. The Ravens had 2 turnovers. The Browns had 1, and you win 12-9.
Turnover battle. Yeah. You win it. You usually win the game.
I thought third downs, Browns were 6 of 19. Ravens were 4 of 16. Defense just huge there, holding them to 25% on third down conversions.
Oh, yeah, the defense, I can't say. I mean, the defense was just played their ass off. You know, Kirksey, I was giving Kirksey a lot of shit. I thought Kirksey played a good game today.
Yeah, agreed.
He made a number of stops. I think he should get the flu every week.
He did have a tackle for loss, 12 total tackles. Collins had 12 tackles, a sack, a tackle for loss.
Ogunjobi on the pressures, getting good pressure.
Jesus, Ogunjobi is just a monster.
Yep.
Just a monster.
And Peppers was around. I mean, just the defense as a collective group, I thought played really well. I thought Peppers came out with like a little bit of spice. He was a spicy pepper today. I mean, you see, he's talking mad shit at the beginning, getting in John Brown's face. I think that's the thing that they really. I think they want Peppers to be like this vocal leader, and he kind of is that. He still just got to. Once you start making more plays on the field, you can become that. Hopefully, one day he can be like a Brian Dawkins type, safety where he's your guy that you just rely on to do so much, and he'll direct people on the field, and he's constant. And Greg Williams has actually already said that about Peppers, how good Peppers is. He brought that up because when Peppers was taking the heat for calling the fans wishy-washy, Greg Williams came out in his next press conference and was saying, "Oh, you don't understand. He might not have like his stats are not." Lighting up the stat board or anything, but at the same time, like this guy is making tons of plays for other guys because he's in the right position. He's getting people lined up, and this guy, he talks as well as any other player, telling guys where to go. And he's just in his second year, so still a lot of improvement can be had from him. And I thought today was a good game where maybe he was playing a little bit of chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, I think when we go back and look at the All-22, I think Peppers probably played the best game that he's played this season.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I mean, what did they have for... Man, they hit a lot of receivers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 9, 11 different receivers Flacco hit.
Yeah,
Jesus
they
Christ.
had 4 tight ends active, and all 4 of them.
Yeah. Hurst, the first-round pick, caught a ball. Andrews caught a ball. Boyle caught a ball. Bunch of 3 different running backs caught balls. I mean, Jesus.
And Flacco was only 50%, 29 of 56 for 298. He didn't even hit 300 yards. That's only 5.3 yards per attempt, which is what Greg Williams is trying to do. He's trying to let them
that's excellent.
Work the ball underneath.
I think the league average is like 6.2. I wish I knew exactly. It's like and if you're up around 8, that's exceptional. Guess what
8.
Baker was today?
Yeah.
8.
Yeah, Flacco, no touchdowns.
Because he's exceptional.
He was only sacked twice, but he was pressured.
Can you believe we have a legitimate stud quarterback? We have a legitimate stud pass rusher. And we suffered I've said this a million times. We won 1-31 this podcast. We did. We suffered. Sashi died for the sins of the previous regimes, and we suffered through all of that. And now here we sit with a stud quarterback, a stud pass rusher, just stud cornerback. I mean, we're just one. There's so many pieces here that this team is just going to keep on improving, and we're in all these games. We could be 5-0, could be 0-5, but guess what? Every single week you show up and you're going, hey, we're the Browns, man. We got a chance to win. You can. When have we ever said that? When did the Browns ever go, hey, every week we got a chance to win? We're going to come back. We're going to play San Diego next week. And again, this is a team we can beat. This is a team we can beat. And it doesn't matter if we're at their place or we're playing at our place. It does seem to matter that we're wearing the Color Rush uniforms. That seems to matter.
It's at home. Yeah, it'll be at home next Sunday, 1:00. Chargers got to make the trip. It's not exactly an easy trip for West Coast teams to come east either. It's a little easier, I think, than the West Coast trip, which is, why I thought that the Browns might have a bit of a struggle in Oakland. It's a bad trip, but the Chargers are coming from LA next week. They beat Oakland 26-10 today. It's a winnable game.
They're good. I mean, you look at a roster, and we'll get into this later in the week, but they got a good roster. They got good players on their team. They really do. But I'm not afraid of them. We beat them 2 years ago with Jamie Meter getting that ball up in the air, knocking down that field goal, and we almost we had a chance, but they kept dinking and dunking us. Remember, Greg Williams played, it was 3rd down and 2. We're playing 10 yards off last year.
Yeah, he didn't trust anybody.
So it will be different. Yeah, Greg Williams he's done a much better job this year. Let's be honest. Now, I complained a couple times about situational things, but he's doing a good job. I'm not trying to take anything away from the guy. Like he's getting these guys ready. The defense is ready to play every single week. They struggled last week and they bounced right back. I mean, the Ravens were like, what did we say? Top 6 ranked offense in the league.
Ravens have been beating the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, they've been good. Yeah, they scored 9 points. 9. In today's NFL, like that's a hell of a job.
Yeah, they've put up 47, 23, 27, 26. And then they come to the Browns. Oh, we're going into Cleveland. Let's go score 9 points. You just take so much shit about that kind of stuff. I did on Twitter, Jim Rome's like, oh, the Browns are America's team. Hey, fuck you. You guys don't get to jump on board now because we got a quarterback.
Oh, everybody be turning in their Steelers jersey.
Right,
I've always loved the Browns. Well, you left your Steelers flag. It's still flying out front. Oh, crap. Honey, can you take the Steelers flag down?
I love Jim
Browns
Rome.
One down? Yeah, we'll remember you. Never forget. Hashtag never forget.
Right. Hashtag Red Redemption's maybe over. I think our redemption's on the way.
It's not over until we win the Super Bowl, baby.
At least is giving us
He's driving.
Something to look forward to. I can't wait to play the next game. I'm ready to go. Let's get Sunday
started.
Go
now
because it's so much fun again. This was not a fun team to watch for these past 2 years. It was fun if you were into sort of like, I want to see these kids grow. I want to see the development. I'm not sure that there's patience for that, and now we're in a situation where we can win some games, and Sashi and Dorsey and Hugh and all those sort of outside factors. I don't know if Mayfield gives a fuck about any of it.
Nope, he's just winging the ball around, not giving 2 fucks about anything, letting it rip.
So there we are. Browns win 2-1. Almost amazing. We'll be back maybe a couple days.
Yep. Watch this tape. Can't wait.
Twitter's at STS Podcasts. Our email, survivingtheseason@gmail.com. Patreon.com/STS Podcast. If you want to support the show, big shout out to our recent reviews. Thank you. I know we trying not to complain about reviews and all that kind of nonsense, but it does help us out. And just you telling your friends about the show, reaching out and telling people even how to download podcasts. Some people don't know.
This is called a phone. And then over here, this is called iTunes. Okay, Grandma. And these guys, they cuss a lot, though, Grandma. So
yeah, we about ended the podcast when I found out that I think my mom listens. So that almost ended the show because we can't do it the way we want to do it. Just kidding, Mom. Love you. All right, Greg. #Road Redemption. Tell them what we say.
Keep on surviving.